Well, as far as that goes, I believe there's a school advisory board, and there's as well the school board. And I would support any decision that they brought. If that wasn't there, if they said that was their recommendation, I would support their recommendation. But I would leave that to them to support.
Mr. Hyde?
My wife is a teacher. Should I say more? But on a serious note, we have a Board of Education, we have a school administration, and as county commissioners, our job is to fund the schools. I think our school system does a great job applying for grants. There's millions of dollars out there for grants and incentives. Naturally, we've got to attract, as a community, qualified teachers for our kids. We've got to provide quality facilities for our children, and I think in the past the boards have done a great job with that. If the growth continues in the manner that it is now, these problems, infrastructure problems, are only going to continue in the manner they are now. So we've got to look at alternative methods such as grants and what we can do to get teacher salaries up. And I think that falls back on electing county commissioners that understand the diversity in our communities from north to east and north to south. We have to be able to network and work with our school board members on a respectful level. We have to work with, our school system is the largest employer of this county. So we have to look at that and continue to find creative and resourceful ways to help fund that. And as commissioners, our job is not to micromanage the school system or the school board. We've got to figure out ways to fund the facilities. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cato?
Well, I'm sitting next to Gene, and his wife is a teacher. I'm trying to do the best I can. Actually, my mother is a teacher, and a lot of my friends and family are teachers. And, I feel for teachers. And I know that they're hardworking and they need all the help and salary that they can get. I disagree, though, I think, with your basic premise, and that is because we're below the state average in per pupil funding, that we need to raise per pupil funding. We're way above state average in performance in our schools. We have good teachers, we have good children, we have good facilities. We're in the top 10% in this state, as a matter of fact. And it's been shown with a lot of studies all over the country that the amount of money that you spend on education is not directly related to educational results, particularly when you compare schools that have competition versus the monopoly that is the state government and the federal government when it comes to schools. And I'd like to add that I feel bad for teachers, like my mother, who are a victim of that monopoly, because when you only have one place to go to work, that person then can tell you how much you make and what your working conditions are going to be. And, it wouldn't be tolerated by Teddy Roosevelt, but somehow it's tolerated if it's the government. Then they're allowed to have a monopoly, and they're allowed to tell teachers how it is. And they're also allowed to tell parents that, and that's not right either. But I digress. I don't think we need to raise taxes, and I don't think we need to raise the supplements. I'm sorry.
Mr. Williams?
A smart politician would tell you that we need to raise the teacher supplements up to at least 20%. But unfortunately, the county commissioners don't involve ourselves with that. We take about 50% of your hard-earned money and spend it on schools. Basically, 50% of your property tax goes towards schools. We don't go to it's not our responsibility to go to the school board and tell them how to spend that money. That's the reason you elect the school board, and I hope you'll ask this question tomorrow night, because currently the school systems this year will see about an 8 to 9% increase in their funding, and where most of our departments in the county will see significantly less than that. So how they decide to divide their money up, that is totally the responsibility of the school boards. And personally, I got a daughter who's a teacher, and she'll hit me over the head when I get home, but I really think that the money should go to the teachers. I think we need to maintain the teachers we have and keep quality teachers in the system, but as a commissioner, I can't direct that money either way.
Okay, I'll try to go quick because there's a lot I wanted to say on this one. In county government, we have nothing but public servants working for us, deputies, EMS, paramedics and all that kind of stuff. You can make the case that all of them deserve more money. At some point, we have to say we have a fixed amount of money and this is it. And where it stops, it's never, we would always like to pay more, but at some point we have to say that this is enough, and it's always an uncomfortable decision. If we were to give a blank check and say, hey, if the school board wants to pay you more of a teacher supplement, not a problem, we'll write the check. That could get very expensive for us. I'm not sure that I could give you that blanket endorsement that, hey, if they say we'll give you an extra couple $1,000 or something that I'll sign off on it. I'm not sure that I could do that. I'm sorry. Our problem is really caused by two things. First of all, is this is not considered a low wealth county, so the state funding formula penalizes Iredell County, even though we contribute a lot on a per pupil basis. The state penalizes us, and that's why we end up with that per pupil funding figure being tossed around that somehow we're not doing our part. The county's doing its part. The state's not doing their part because we're one of the 19 counties that's being considered a high wealth county. If you want to know where the money's going, it's going to build new school buildings. If you want to have money to build parks or pay teachers more, pay other people more, do other things, then we got to get out of this mode where every available tax dollar that we have and every available new tax revenue that we're going to collect is already designated to build brand new schools for kids who just moved here. Thanks.